the Talk Birdie-tome with former world number 16 Nick O'Hearn and Tour Pro Mark Allen, live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. And thanks to our great partners, Titleist, they're the clear number one ball in golf. FootJoy are the number one shoe and glove in golf. Driving a BMW is like hitting a perfect shot. Smooth, controlled and powerful. Ping, they'll help you play your best. The Golf Clearance Outlet beat everyone's prices. And Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Now, from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, it's time for Talk Birdie-tome.
Well, g'day everybody. Welcome to the program. Nick O'Hearn's over in Vietnam, and there's nobody here but just you and I, Dan.
I know.
I'll go and put him up on the screen for everybody.
Oh, here he is.
There we go. G'day, Nicholas.
Sorry, guys. Hey, how are you guys?
Now, you better tell everybody where you are.
Yeah, I'm up in Da Nang, Vietnam, hosting a golf trip for Luxury Escapes. Quite a while ago they asked if I'd be interested, and here I am up here. We've got about 16 people, along with Bree Ogilvie, Jeff Ogilvie's wife, and we're just entertaining about 17 golfers up here, playing different courses. We played. Where did we play yesterday? We did your favourite golf course, your favourite player's golf course, Colin Montgomery. Yeah. The Montgomery Links. Yes. I'm sure that'll be on your top 5 courses to play.
Apparently
at some
you're not
stage,
allowed to shake hands on that golf course. Any kind of sportsmanship is frowned upon.
Yeah, I did notice you had hit a straight with a bit of a high fade most of the day. So it's a typical Monty course. Now, Barnard Hills today, we've got Lang Cove, and then finishing up with my favourite, Hoi-Anna Shores. It's actually a really good golf course. Robert Trent Jones designed, just on the water. Very nice.
So everyone I know seems to be going to Vietnam these days instead of Bali. I think Bali's crossed off, but I also know a lot of golfers who are going there to play golf. Now, it must be crazy hot, is it? What is it, 40 degrees every day?
No, well, the temperature's not bad. It's just the humidity. I feel like I'm back in Florida, Central Florida, living in Isleworth again, where you walk outside and you go, oh, this is hot. So very different to Melbourne at the moment, obviously. So got a bit of a shock the other day when we landed and going, oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot how hot it is up here, but food's amazing, hotel's incredible, golf courses are really good, and looking forward to the rest of the trip.
Well, you know what it tells me, Dan? It tells me that Luxury Escapes must be going very, very well to afford someone like Nick O'Hearn over there on one of their trips. That's what it tells me.
Well, do you know the funny thing about Luxury Escapes? There is a connection between Luxury Escapes and this podcast in that the voiceover, the female voiceover on our top 5 and some of our segments was my daughter Cheyenne, who works at Luxury Escapes.
There we go.
It's a small world.
There you go.
Hey, Nick, while we've got you over there, you and I, we played all around the world, you more than me, but we played around the world. These days, we're both social golfers and we love it. You can't get enough. I'm still practicing so I play well on the Wednesday morning. It's ridiculous. But if you had the choice, where would you go in the world? Let's get rid of Australia. Where would you go for a golfing holiday?
Yeah, it's a good question because it's funny, when Alana started playing a few years back, after joining Cathedral, we kind of thought, it'd be fun to go on some golf trips at some stage. And now that you actually do play, we can do it together, when the kids are grown up and all that. And there's one place in particular, well, maybe two, that I've always wanted to go back and play because I never got to play all those great courses, was in Northern Ireland and then throughout Ireland, as well as some of the courses on the west coast of Scotland as well. So I never played all those great ones that you hear about, like Royal Portrush, Royal County Down. They never had tournaments there when I was playing, and I only ever went to the places they ever had tournaments. So I'd love to go back and visit those types of places up there, and just plus the old, the Guinness is fabulous. The people in Ireland is just amazing, and I'd love to check a few boxes. How about yourself?
Well, I'm with you on Ireland. We've spoken about that before. But the other one that has a bit of fascination for me, and I've never played golf up in New England, so I'd love to play Shinnecock Hills. I'd love to go down to Philadelphia and play Pine Valley. The best of the best of American golf. I would love to do that. And I'd also do it around Kentucky Derby time. So tick off a couple of boxes. Go and see the Kentucky Derby. And then head up north to where these golf courses, the ones, that have history, Merriam, and that's sort of just a bit of a trail.
Yeah.
I never got to play up in that corner of America ever, really.
Yeah,
I've been to New York, but I didn't play golf up there the times that I've been there. But
I get onto winged foot as well. May as well.
Throw in winged foot. So
Philadelphia Cricket Club.
Philadelphia Cricket Club. There's my 5. Shinnecock, Philadelphia Cricket Club, Merriam, Pine Valley. Give us one more.
Well, while you're up there, you might. What are those other courses like? There's like Sabonic. There's the National Links up there. There's a bunch.
Okay. So to the Wolfpack out there, get in touch with our socials. You've got an area somewhere other than Australia that you'd love to go. You can give us your 5 courses that you would love to go and play and see, and we'll probably give you a shout out next week.
I know it's in a different area, Mark, but I would have thought that you would love a chance to play Augusta.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. And I've got a way in too. My old college roommate, I probably shouldn't be saying this out loud because I know what Augusta's like, but my old college roommate, Kevin Youngblood, his boss, Jim, is a member of Augusta and Pine Valley.
Ooh.
So one day.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, one day. Another place that would be great to go and play is the Gold Coast, Dan.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
And we can tell people that we're not far away from getting to Links Golf and Wellbeing at Hope Island, but our good friends here, I'm not sure whether you know this yet, Nick, but we kind of put our hand up to Nick Arnold and everybody here at Titleist and FootJoy, basically begging for some prizes.
Begging's a strong word.
Well, we were.
Strong word.
We were hopeful that we might get a few things.
You only got down on one knee.
But then it's almost over the top with what they've come back with.
Yeah, I know. It's great. So the prizes we're going to have, and we'll figure out how we give these away on the day when we get a little...
I already know.
I do? Okay,
yeah,
all right.
I already know. But go tell what the prizes are.
Let me tell you what the prizes are first. So we're going to have a $300 FootJoy voucher.
Nice.
The good thing about that is that means you can probably get a pair of Hyperflex for that.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is great.
Or you can pay a tiny little bit extra and get... a pair of these little beauties.
Yeah,
actually, I don't even have them on.
So that's a cracker from FootJoy. How's this? A Titleist GT driver and 3-wood with a custom fitting from a Titleist fitting specialist.
That's just ridiculous. Driver and 3-wood. Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah, go on.
A set of custom fitted Vokey wedges fitted by a Titleist fitting specialist.
Used by Nick O'Hearn.
And and we've got a couple of dozen Pro V1 golf balls, which we'll give away in some way, shape, or form.
Sensational.
And 3 $250 vouchers to our mates, the Golf Clearance Outlet. So there's some really good prizes there.
It's all right.
But here's the thing: it's not like there's hundreds of people playing. If you're half decent, you're a good chance.
Yeah, you're a good chance. Chance.
Yeah, and actually, just come to think of it, because I was going to donate something else. I've got an idea for the Naga because they're going to need it.
Yes.
Okay, everyone has a Naga. It's going to be an annual subscription to my video series.
Yes.
To help you play your best golf. Because
brilliant.
You don't give that to the winner. They're already playing their best golf. You give it to the person who needs it the most.
It's funny you say that because in days of old, my old DVD, 87 Tips to Make Golf Simple, that was used at more Naga events. That was given away to more people who won the Naga than any other prize in the history of Australian golf.
There you go.
Anyway, very funny.
The prize is great. It's on Wednesday, October 8 at Links Golf and Wellbeing on the Gold Coast. Tickets, and there's actually not that many left now. So tickets are at the website. Go to the Links Golf and Wellbeing website or our socials.
Yep. And
we'd love to see you there on the Gold Coast on that Wednesday.
So how are we going to give away the prizes? This is the best way to do it, okay? And I know I've made a bit of an executive decision, but it works. So
obviously,
the golf balls are for the long drive or the nearest the pins or whatever we're doing on the day. That's easy. But if you win the thing, you get first pick.
Explain the format first.
Oh.
Okay, so it's talk birdie to me par, which means you can. It's a normal par comp, except when you would normally get 4 points in a Stableford comp, you would only get 1+. In the talk birdie to me par competition, you get a double plus, and then if you made a 5-pointer equivalent of, you would get a triple plus. So we reward attacking golf at the talk birdie to me golf days, which is great. So if you win the thing, no prizes are given out. We do third and second and first and long drives, but the winner gets the pick. So if he or she wants the driver in 3-wood, they just take the driver in 3-wood. Maybe they've just got a brand new driver in 3-wood, and that's the last thing they need. So that's how we'll do it. You
so
actually
second
get
prize can then choose.
Then second prize can choose what's left. Then third prize can choose what's left.
Yeah, nice.
And that helps the person who wins.
Yeah,
yeah,
I love it.
It's funny. It's funny you say that. I remember we played a member guest up at Cathedral a few years ago with a good mate of mine, Paul Marsh. And we ended up losing in the final in a playoff. And as it turned out, the second prize was better than the first prize.
That's right.
The second prize was about 4 bottles of wine that we all really wanted to drink.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's how you do it. That's good. This is a great way of doing it. Now, Nicholas, I don't know about you on the weekend, but I didn't give a rat's about any other event apart from watching Cypress Point. I mean, it was everything that it lived up to be.
It was absolutely stunning. I caught glimpses of it because I was traveling and doing different stuff. But if there was ever a moment to use a drone, Cypress Point is it, because some of those drone shots you see them at Pebble Beach down the road, but Cypress is just another 7 levels up how good that place is. And the walk, I remember you sent a bit clips through the walk across from 14 green to the 15th tee, and then you can see 16 in the distance, 17. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. It was just absolutely stunning. And what an event. What an event.
And the Americans, they do it so well. You know, it wasn't done on a budget. Here was an opportunity to not only showcase top-level amateur golf, but it was a way of showing people the dream places to play and to give you what not everybody in the world will see, you know. Like, I'm 56 years old. I haven't been to Pine Valley yet. You know, there's lots and lots of people who have played golf their entire life who will never step on the Cypress Point or Pine Valley or Augusta or maybe even St Andrews over in Scotland. They will just never do it. But when you have an opportunity to showcase golf the way they did, it now becomes a no-brainer. And I'm going back to your idea. You've been talking about this for a while. But to have you have the Tour Championship, and Tommy Fleetwood wins the Tour Championship. And if Tommy Fleetwood then sneaks into the top 4 or the top 8 or whatever you decide, because it's your idea, then you play the match play at a golf course like Cypress, or you go to Pine Valley, you know, where there are the amazing Shell Wonderful World of Golf specials, or you go to Shinnecock Hills, or you go to, you know, just some of the absolute specials, you know, Pebble Beach, whichever ones I can't think of any others, Nick. But to showcase the best, imagine showcasing the best 4 players of the season, and they're playing for something equivalent of the FedEx Cup.
Yeah, it's just like I think it's a dream for golfers to see those courses. As you say, they can't. There is a lot of golfers that they're just not going to be able to play. I mean, Cypress Point is one of the most exclusive clubs in the world. So is Pine Valley, Augusta, obviously.
Yeah.
Now you still have a shot to get on there, which is great.
Yeah.
But some of these other courses that you've always thought, I hear about it all the time, but I'd love to see it and to showcase it, as you say. It was something special, and I think the thing was, it's one of those golf courses that everyone was a bit worried about how short it would play for these long hitters because they are bombers, but it still held its own. I mean, the golf course still really held its own. There was some really good scoring, obviously, but it didn't matter because even if you shoot low scores, the golf course still showcases everything that they wanted to show. So they kept the course firm and fast. The greens are rolling beautifully from what I saw. Yeah. And there was some really close matches. I mean, it was a big difference in the end. I think the final tally was 17-9 to the US defeating Great Britain and Ireland, but it was a lot closer than that in the end. And the first day, Great Britain and Ireland, they came out swinging. I think they were 3-1 up and did really well in the foursomes. It was an interesting format. They go four matches of foursomes, and then I think it was 8 singles the second day. Sorry, in the afternoon. Yeah. And then, because it was only a 2-day event, you wish it was 3 or 4 days, this event, but they only did it over 2 days. And then they went back to foursomes, and then they went back to 12 singles matches. So the US dominated the singles. I think they won 14 out of the 18 singles matches. But the foursomes, the Great Britain and Ireland actually had the lead in that. So it just kind of showed you a bit of the dominance in singles that the US players had, but it didn't matter. I mean, whatever the result was, you almost didn't care about it because all you just was watching was these iconic holes. It was
that's right.
Phenomenal.
The golf was secondary, completely secondary. Anyway, I did notice it's a par 72 Cypress Point, but it was a par 70, even though it's a match play event. So they made a couple of par fives, par fours, which is what they normally do. But I was really fascinated. They put up what all the grasses were. So the fairways were bent grass and poa, right? Everybody frowns upon poa over this way anyway. The roughs were ryegrass and poa.
Mm-hmm.
So you had bent grass and poa fairways, ryegrass and poa roughs. What do you reckon the greens were?
Poa.
Isn't that amazing? So I know there are some golf courses, there are some golf courses in this part of the world. Kingston Heath's one of them. We get rid of if there's a tiny bit of poa, it's gone. I mean, it is. We think it's disease worthy, which is probably right because, if you can get it going, get the bent grass going, it looks amazing and it does roll better. Yeah. But over there, they don't spend their money trying to eradicate poa. They spend their money trying to make poa better because they've found that they just cannot get rid of it. I mean, they've tried, but they just can't get rid of the stuff. But
Pebble
the way
Beach
it
is
played,
the same. They're all poa greens at Pebble Beach. But the issue with poa is the more players you have on it, obviously, then the bumpier and the harder they get cut on. The benefit of Cypress Point is they don't get that many play on it, right? So
yeah, that's right. So it's the perfect grass for them. They might get on a busy day, probably their member guests. They probably get 100 people, and that's once a year. Probably. I'm that's a complete guess. Maybe it's 150. I don't know. But your average Monday to Friday, well, they don't even play Monday to Friday, do they? Most country clubs in America, it's Tuesday to Sunday. They always have a Monday off to look after the golf course. There might only be 10 or 15 people playing on any given day. So, look, it is, mate. Hey, could it work on ours? The chase is on when we talk about the Challenger PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Could we get to the last two and then send them to New South Wales Golf Club, or is it just? I think at their young, early stage of their careers, maybe having one and two playing off for a European Tour card isn't fair.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair because the top three players get the DP World Tour card. Number one, obviously, is the prime spot. You'd be hard done by to have a hell of a season, be number one, and then all of a sudden you go, hang on, I've got to play this guy for the top spot, even though I've beaten him every week. I think what would be really good if in Australia, for example, and maybe you take the top four or the top two, as we say, and then you have a little. It's called the bonus round or something, and you just throw. They make a bit of extra money for all their performances throughout the year. It's like a little reward in a way. So it has nothing to do with the DP World Tour or anything like that. It just becomes a nice little exhibition event, I guess. I mean, in the US, they used to have what was that thing called the Grand Slam Cup, with
that's right.
4 major winners.
Yeah, that was great.
Play off. Yeah, really good. So it's a bit of an exhibition, but it's also a reward, I think, for how well you've played throughout the season. And then people would get to see, a golf course like New South Wales Golf Club, as you say, or somewhere else around the country, which is really iconic and spectacular. Hey, maybe take them to Cape Wickham or 7 Mile or Barnbougle or something like that down in Tasmania. Yeah, anyway.
It would be spectacular.
We can only dream.
Yeah, and by the way, that's what I'd be doing. I know we've spoken about this before, and I think James Sutherland, Dan, is coming in this month. So we're going to have an audience with James Sutherland,
get the boss on,
who's the CEO of Golf Australia. But we've spoken about this as well with the Australian Amateur, and we package it up so it's sent around the world, and it's a bit like what Cypress has just done with the Walker Cup. The whole world would have been. We wouldn't have even cared what Rory did. We'll talk about Rory in a tick, winning the Irish Open. I mean, this week the highlight was Cypress Point watching some amateurs run around in their red pants. But we could, there's an opportunity still, in my view, to have the Australian amateurs, both the men's and the women's, and you put them on a golf course like New South Wales. Now, I would flip the nines in this case because, we want those, we want a finish kind of on 5 and 6 and 7 when you're right next to the water. You flip the nines and you package up the Australian amateurs and they get to have a good look at New South Wales Golf Club. And then the next year, I know it would work, and you wouldn't have to go to the levels that we saw the coverage at Cypress Point. Just a few drones, just packaged up to where you're watching the last, maybe 8 holes, some highlights of what happened earlier. Just simple stuff. But the world gets to see what golf is like in this country. So I think that's an opportunity that needs to be explored at the very least.
Yeah. Well, I think there was something going around. Were they putting up nominations for board seats on the Golf Australia the other day, Mark?
Yes.
Maybe we should nominate you.
Well, I might do a live interview with James. Does he do the interviews? Dan, how's it work getting on a board? I've never been on a board. But
typically, there's a selection committee, but James will be certainly part of it.
James will be part of it. Well, we might do. We might see. Have a bit of a crack at it.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Hey, listen, before we move on from Cyprus, we had a question from a Wolfpacker, Nick, which actually is about Cyprus.
Yeah.
G'day, Nick and Mark. I watched the Walker Cup at Cyprus on the weekend. The best golf course visually I have ever seen on TV. It was breathtaking. Yep. Why do they not play any professional tournaments there anymore?
Well, I guess the membership probably just doesn't want it because I imagine that's the case. But they'd want something special. This is the whole deal. They don't want a Tour Championship or the John Deere. They don't want the John Deere Championship being played there. But what they might want is the opportunity to have Rory versus Scheffler playing for the champion golfer of the year of the PGA Tour. That's a different animal. And then they would give the opportunity, I would imagine, this is how I would do it anyway, their members and some very special guests to walk the fairways like we saw at the Walker Cup. No ropes, none of that rubbish, just an audience at this incredibly special venue. I mean, that's how I would do it, and it would be stunning.
Yeah, we used to do something similar at Isleworth where I lived in the US, where we'd have the Tavistock Cup. Isleworth would play Lake Nona, and it's like the ultimate pennant match on steroids. Where Isleworth, we had Tiger, we had Stuart Appleby, we had
Poulter, Els,
Poulter, Els, and those guys. They were on Lake Nona's team. Our team was like Mark O'Meara and Lee Jansen and so on. All
unbelievable,
these great players. So we had a 10-man pennant match basically over 2 days, red versus blue, and all the members. They bring along their guests and they would walk the fairways with us. There was no ropes. And it was the 2 best days ever. Creating something like that would be so cool. But as you're spot on, Mark, these courses like Cypress, Pine Valley, Shinnecock, maybe a Seminole or something like that, they wouldn't want a regular event. They want something that is so unique and so different, which is why they had the Walker Cup there at Cypress Point. It's just one of those unique events. They couldn't hold a Ryder Cup there because that's just out of control and too many people. It has to be more of an intimate, personal experience for those sorts of people to come out there and then get the cameras, the drones, and then everyone around the world can watch it and see what we saw over the weekend.
Well, you just know too that Adam Scott and Tiger Woods, who are on the board to see how the tour is set up next year, and the new PGA Tour CEO, I've forgotten his name already, but he's talking about scarcity. He wants scarcity. Now, if we're talking scarcity, this is right up his alley. Right up his alley. Just 2 tournaments and then top 4. Bang, bang, Saturday, Sunday, just people walking on the course. My God, if they don't at least explore it, they've got rocks in their head. They have got rocks in their head.
What are the membership costs at Cyprus? It must be
not that much. No, not that much. No, it's funny, I think the joining fee is big. And then I think at golf courses like that, there might only be 150 members. They look at what it cost them for the entire year and they divvy it up.
They divvy it up.
They just divvy it
Similar
up.
to Augusta, I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at Augusta, I know this.
It's probably changed now.
And I've probably used his name a little bit earlier in the thing, but I can't tell you. At Augusta, they make so much money off the tournament and all the merchandise that they sell that it's so reasonable to get in there. The hard bit is getting the letter because you can't put your hand up and say, I'd like to be a member at Augusta. You've just got to wait patiently for a letter to arrive. And I think it's like when I don't want to be out of school here, but the person I know who got into it was $70,000 was the joining fee, which is next to nothing,
Really?
isn't it, Nick? I mean,
Yeah, for those
that
guys,
is
I mean,
nothing for an American
they're-
country club.
There are courses over there where it's $1 million, $2 million to just join. So
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
crazy. I have a friend of mine. I'm not going to name him because it'll give it away. But he, as far as I don't want him to, be put on the bad list. He's a member at Cypress, Pine Valley, San Francisco. A lot of really great courses around the country. And I said to him one day, I noticed you're not a member of Augusta. And he said, yeah, I don't ask, and I'm just waiting for the little tap on the shoulder. So,
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Is he an Australian bloke?
One day.
Australian?
No, he's American.
American, righto.
Guys, time for the BMW Touch of Class, BMW X Luxury and Comfort for the 19th hole. And Nick, I have to say thank you to you as well. Given that you're in Vietnam at the moment, I appreciate you very much lending me your X5 for the week that you're away. I don't think I'm going to give it back.
Well, I hope you signed the insurance waiver anyway. So.
I got here early, Nick, and he was just doing laps of Titleist FootJoy, just going around. I was waiting for someone to look out the window and see him driving the thing.
It's just beautiful. Good. It's a beautiful car, and I appreciate it very much, Nick. But anyway, BMW Touch of Class.
Touch of Class.
Driving a BMW is like hitting the perfect shot.
Well, that is pure magic.
I have to give a shout out to the DP World Tour and Shane Lowry. Actually, they had a little social clip during the week at the Irish Open there at the K Club where there was a young kid. His name was Dara. I don't know how you say it properly. Dara, Daire. And he's an 11-year-old kid, and his dream was to meet Shane Lowry. Now, at 6 weeks old, he was diagnosed with leukemia. He's been in hospitals most of his young life, and it's just one of those stories that the DP world do so well every once in a while. And obviously, this Irish kid, he's grown up. He's watched Rory, and funnily enough, his hero is Shane Lowry. So they took him out. He walked around for 9 holes with him during the Pro-Am at the K Club. They actually got him hitting a shot and a putt, and you could see the chat between them going back and forth. And I mean, this little kid's life, he's just lived one of those dreams, like a Make-A-Wish type thing. And it's just brilliantly done by the DP World Tour, and hats off to Shane Lowry for spoiling this little kid. And he's met his family, his parents. It was really well done, and it was a touch of class.
Well, it sounds an awful lot like Jared Lyle and Robert Allenby. I mean, I think we'll find some photos somewhere. But for people who don't know, Jared Lyle had leukemia when he was a child as well, and Robert Allenby, his charity challenge was, Jared was one of the first kids that really helped and touched. And I think they used to have some golf days out at the Capitol to raise money for kids with cancer, and Luke of the Duck became an integral part of it. So it sounds like it's exactly the same sort of a situation. That's Shane Lowry. I love Shane Lowry. I mean, I absolutely love him.
Yeah.
I would love, if we're talking about people you'd love to have a game with, I'd love to have a game with Shane Lowry. I think it'd be great fun.
Well, I haven't seen this video or the audio of Shane Lowry with this beautiful little boy. So why don't we just have a bit of a look at some of that now?
Do you like school?
No.
Sounds like me.
Just down the road, 5 minutes away. It's really close, really close by. Yeah. Cool. Excited?
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
Good. How are you?
Well,
How's it going?
what's the track? Dara.
Dara, how are you?
Grand. Shane, how are you?
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Very pleased to meet you.
You all set?
Yeah.
Huh?
He's been all set since 5
Bit
a.m.
nervous.
this morning.
Nervous? No? You ready?
Yeah.
Are we gonna walk up here then? We are. Yeah. You play a bit of golf?
Yeah.
Stand in there. This is my caddy Dara. This is my coach Neil.
Well,
This is my caddy
it's
Dara.
crack. Hi, how are you? Well, I can see it there now.
Straight in them trees.
It's dropping.
He was diagnosed 6 weeks old.
Really?
Yeah, 6 weeks. He had a cold. Wasn't himself for a day or two. Brought him into the hospital. They weren't quite sure what it was. It ended up in Crumlin, and within 2 days they said he had leukemia. And he kind of always on an upward trajectory since then. So no setbacks. Touch wood.
Did you play golf in school?
Yeah.
No. Do you like school?
No.
Sounds like me. What would you hit here?
Edge to edge.
I should hit a pitching wedge, or you would hit a pitching wedge?
I'd hit a pitching wedge.
You'd hit a pitching wedge?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd hit a pitching wedge, so.
45.
Yeah. Oh, how good is this?
Ooh.
Wrong club. So any other question? You can ask me whatever you want.
Could you keep playing for 9 to 10 years so I can play against you someday?
How old are you now?
11.
11. So when you're 20, I'll be 47. God, I hope I'm playing in 10 years.
Yeah.
Do you want to hit my putt for me here? I'd hit it up like, see this piece of grass?
Yeah.
So just inside that. Oh, nice. Good putt. Nice. Give them a wave. Go man. Hold on. Go man. Hold on.
Yeah. Thanks.
Did all right, didn't you? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, excellent.
It's a little goodie bag that the boys and Tricks on put together for you.
Oh,
So
grand.
a few weeks.
Yeah.
Nice balls and stuff. But thanks very much.
Thank you.
Good man. Where's your brothers? Let me say hello. How's things? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
So
Shane.
much.
Yeah, no problem.
Class.
Oh my word.
Titleist GT, a new class of drivers.
From Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, this is Talk Birdie-Simi. We're here for BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Ping will help you play your best. The Golf Clearance Outlet beat everyone's prices. And Better is the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Now, for Titleist, the #1 ball in golf, and FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. Here's Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen.
Okay, time for Nick O'Hearn's top 5 very, very soon. Before we get there, Nick, how's Go Golfer going? The golfers marketplace.
Yeah, it's going really well. Getting plenty of listings on the site. So head to gogolfer.com.au if you're looking for any secondhand golf equipment. Doesn't matter what it is, clubs, bags, you name it. But the one thing I did want to mention is we had a winner to our little competition. So if you remember in early August, I think when we launched the site, I said I'm going to give a annual subscription for my series Play Your Best Golf to someone who lists and sells their gear on Go Golfer or happens to buy something. And that winner is, and Dan, don't hold me to this, it was all legal, it was all normal. His name is Nicholas as well.
Oh, come on.
Wasn't myself.
Really?
But a guy called
Nicholas
Nicholas.
O'Hearn?
No, Nicholas Missalides. So he's a young golfer who listed some site, had a great experience. We got in contact with him, and he wins my annual subscription, and hopefully it'll help him play his best. So so we'll see
Fabulous.
how it goes.
So the website, just
Very
to remind people, is gogolfer.com.au. Do you know, Mark, while we're talking about Nick here, and while he's not here, can I ask you, is it just me, or do you feel a little hurt that Nick is in Vietnam, living at large, having a great time, and you and I just, we like, there was never even a discussion out inviting us along?
No, I wasn't going to say anything, but it's a little bit disappointing, I guess, you know, just to be left for dead.
I know. I mean, I thought we were part of a team, but...
Well, I knew we were playing a Montgomery course, so I thought he wouldn't want to come.
That's a good point.
That is a good point.
I would have boycotted that day.
All right, time for the top 5 for Better. It is the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia, and we are going to rinse them on the Ryder Cup later this year.
Top 5. The top 5 for Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia.
Top 5.
So we actually haven't really spoken about Rory McIlroy winning the Irish Open, but my top 5 is kind of around that because they were playing the K Club, and the K Club is one of those courses that it's not a great course.
It's ordinary, Nick. Just let's be plain. It's an ordinary track.
Okay, so my top 5 are ordinary courses that tend to produce great finishes.
Oh, yeah, okay. This is good.
Tournaments. Like the K Club always produces a great finish, and if you saw that finish, it was unbelievable. And by the way, the crowds, oh my gosh, huge.
Rabid.
Huge.
They were rabid.
But anyway, so my top 5 not so good golf courses, or ordinary or plain, as you say, Mark, that produce great finishes. Now, they all do have one thing in common, but my number 5, and I was going to actually I'm going to go there. It was going to be a top 6, but I'm just going to have an honourable mention to TPC River Highlands, where the Travellers Championship is played. Now, it's not a great course, but it does always produce good finishes. Holding the bunker shot, Keegan Bradley this past year. Yeah. But that's the one that sort of outlies there. So I just want to make an honourable mention for that one. Number 5 is going to be the Belfry. So the Belfry it has 2 good holes, number 10 and 18. Yep. Dramatic. That 18th hole always produces a great finish. This year it was Alex Noren. Kazuma Kabori almost got there. The Ryder Cup, if you remember, Paul McGinley making the putt there and jumping into the pond. It was just brilliant. So the Belfry is number 5.
I think Chrissy O'Connor hit a 2-iron to about 6 feet to beat Fred Couples. That's right. One of the most famous shots in golf.
Absolutely. Yep. Number 4 is where they play, what's it called now, actually? I think it's now called the Cognizant Classic. It used to be called the Honda, where they have the PGA National. Yes. And the Bear Trap. Yes. So, again, not a great golf course, but that final hole, it just seems to produce very dramatic finishes. The par 5 with the water on the right. I think Tommy Fleetwood flared one out in the water a few years ago, but a fascinating finish, that golf course. Number 3 is the K Club. We did speak, I think, last week about Thomas Bjorn hitting 3 in the River Liffey on 17 and to lose the tournament. But this was a cracking finish this year with Joachim Lagergren, the Swedish golfer. He played some unbelievable golf coming down the stretch there. He hit a 3-wood into the 16th to par 5. You got to have a look at that. Yeah, it was one of the great shots of the year. Very impressive. Yep. Number 2, this golf course. Every year, all you would see would be Tiger Woods making a 30-footer or a 20-footer to win, and the big fist pump come out, Bay Hill. Yes. It always produces great finishes, and it is not a great golf course. You
don't like it at all, do you? This is one of the first things I ever remember you talking about, that you knocked something on the head early in our podcasting days, and that was Bay Hill Golf Club.
Yeah, well, my coach, Neil Simpson, used to come over and visit me in America every once in a while. And he said, Nick, I want to go play Bay Hill. I said, Neil, you don't want to play there. And he goes, no, I've seen it on TV. It looks fantastic. I said, okay, let's go play. He walks off the 18th and go, well, that was disappointing. So it sort of sums it all up. And then number 1 golf course that always produces an amazing finish, but again, not a great course. It could have been a great course. And I think you know what I'm going to say here, Mark. Torrey Pines. Yeah. Torrey Pines. That 18th hole it's not a great hole, but it always produces something special. The Tiger Woods putt in 2008 at the US Open to beat Rocco Mediate.
John Rahm holding it from the back edge.
US Open. Yeah. The drone shots are fantastic, but they could have put so many holes up against the water. Could have been an iconic golf course, but they didn't do it. So anyway. That's my top 5.
Well done.
I was going to go with a different one, but anyway,
that's perfect.
I'm sorry, I'll probably never be invited back there, much like you won't be invited
that's okay.
to play Royal Melbourne. So
that's okay. They don't want you back. So well done. You don't want to go back.
All right, now feedback for Southern Golf Club. We've got a few questions and comments for you guys. So we'll and there's a whack for the team collectively.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Talk Birdie feedback. Thanks to Southern Golf Club.
Okay, feedback for Southern Golf Club. By the way, I was talking to Brad at Southern a couple of days ago, and he was saying the OCM team are back in there at the moment doing some work at Southern.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
I didn't realise OCM were at Southern.
Yeah, they are. They're in there doing some stuff at the moment.
Nice.
Southern goes from strength to strength. It's get better and better all the time.
Well, if you get someone like OCM in there, I know their head is on straight, and they haven't bothered with some others. Well done.
Okay, feedback. This one from Mick. G'day, guys. I've watched the most recent podcast and, as always, enjoyed it. But some feedback for you. Nick, you recounted a match between Hogan and Nelson and a couple of amateurs. You set it up brilliantly. I love the story. But you left out the most important part. How the hell did the match end?
My apologies. I thought, well, maybe people don't want me to spoil it for them. But I will then if you'd like me to, Mick. So no problem at all. So what they did was they played 4-ball best ball. And let me tell you the scores. The worst score shot that day was 67 by Byron Nelson and Harvey Ward. Ken Venturi shot 65 and Ben Hogan shot 63.
Wow.
9 under. Thank you very much. The best ball scores, as it turned out, it went down to the 18th hole when Nelson and Hogan, I think Hogan might have held a birdie putt on the last, they finished 15 under best ball to win 1 up
Oh,
over
my
Venturi and
God.
Ward, who were 14 under best ball. How's that?
That is just remarkable.
Scary scoring.
Remarkable.
Scary scoring. Especially with those clubs, the Ultra Simmons, the Blades,
Those
the Balata
balls.
balls or whatever they used. Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah. Okay, that is pretty full on. Okay, some more feedback here. Kevin, regarding framing the holes at Royal Melbourne Golf Club, guys, could it be that some trees were removed to improve airflow over the greens to maintain healthy grasses? Just asking.
Well, maybe, but the greens at Royal Melbourne have been pretty good for a long, long time. World class, renowned for how smooth they've rolled for 100 years. So maybe, but pretty lame excuse in my book.
Yeah, I think the holes you mentioned, like 5 West and 17 West, I think there's plenty of airflow through there already, right? Yeah.
This next bit of feedback, guys, is from the category of what I would call extreme optimism. This is from Phil. Hello, guys. My ears pricked up while listening to a recent episode. The Tiger Woods was given new wedges for every event.
That's right.
I've also heard that story about other tour pros as well. And it made me wonder, what happens to the used wedges? Wedges played by Tiger would surely be a great collector's item, particularly if they were used to win an event. Nick, given that you played on the PGA Tour, do you have any idea what happens to the used ones when the players are no longer using them?
Well, from personal experience, I've got a lot of Vokey Titleist wedges. I either give them away to people that need something, or they end up in my shed, basically. And I've got a bag full of them. And every now and then I might bring out one and go, oh, that looks pretty good. But a lot of players, they either hand them, give them away or hand them down or keep them in the garage. And I'm sure Charlie Woods has probably got a few of them that he's using as well with Tigers. So,
what a shame that would be if all of Tiger's wedges were still in his garage and he wasn't, gifting them around.
Yeah. No, I'm sure a lot of them get donated or gifted to charities, things like that.
Yeah,
or
you betcha.
I think of the subtext from Phil's comment is that he's trying to pick up a used Tiger wedge. I think he's probably going to struggle.
I think we all understand that.
I would have thought.
Well, maybe head to gogolfer.com.au and you might find something. You never know.
Should get in touch with Tiger. He can put them all on there.
Now, would you like the whack now?
Yeah.
And this is for all of us. We've all been collectively given a bit of a whack here. And I don't have any, I'm not going to read an email out because I reckon there was about 30. Last week on the pod, Mark.
Yes.
You were discussing the flora and fauna, or fauna, I should say, at Royal Melbourne.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
And you called it fauna.
That's right.
And Nick and I didn't pick it up, and we should have picked it up.
No, we didn't pick it up.
None of us picked it up. So we are all at fault here. So you were talking about plant life, but calling it fauna. And there were so many jokes about kangaroos and wombats, and it was very funny.
Yes.
So it's a bit of a whack for all three of us. Really.
Oh well, that happens. I must have been wagging school the day that was taught. I knew it was one of them. It was one of them. Anyway, well done. Thanks to everybody. Mark, thanks for all the feedback. We appreciate it.
The problem was, Mark, you said it with such conviction that I didn't even pick it up. So right. Credit to you in that sense.
Well, you learned that from radio. If you don't know what you talk about, sound like you know what you're talking about.
And no one will query you.
That's exactly right.
Okay, some comments on iron covers here, boys. This one from Kennedy. Disabled golfer here, getting my first set of clubs soon. Exciting. They've been fitted for me. No iron covers as I don't have any irons yet. I've got a hybrid for club speed at the moment. Love the podcast. Big fan of you, particularly, Marco.
Oh, it's nice. Hey, tell you what, don't worry about irons. Do not worry about irons. Just get a bag full of 9 woods and hybrids and all that sort of stuff. And you do need covers for those because they can get dented and scratched because there's a bit of paint on them. There's paint. So you don't want that to be scratched. But iron covers, no.
Okay. Ken, I will keep using iron covers to protect my investment. The amount of damage to clubs from being bashed around together is quite alarming. I watched a Tacoma video and 3-month-old clubs were already damaged. Nick, you bit your tongue when Dan said iron covers on ping clubs last week. I guess you guys have to pay the bills. Yeah, that's a bit harsh. Drivers have covers, so do putters. Iron covers just complete the set.
No.
I don't think you bit your tongue last week, Nick. In fact, I think you were quite clear that you don't like iron covers.
Very clear. I said, well done on getting the ping clubs, but I don't agree with the iron covers. So, but each to their own. And if it makes him sleep better at night, then All the best to you.
I don't know about you, Nick, but when I got a new set of irons, I couldn't wait until they were banged up a little bit. I couldn't wait until there was a tiny little, wear mark right in the sweet spot. To me, golf clubs, particularly irons, they're not right unless they've got a couple of war scars, war wounds, and we need, that flush mark in the center of the club. Yeah. You play your best when your clubs are about 3 months old, I reckon.
Nathan had a comment about your cyber golf video, Nick, which we had, by the way, a lot of people who said, hey, here's the clip on YouTube. So I'm sure you've seen that now, Nick. But I think you saw a couple of replies from you there too. But Nathan has said there was also a video of Ben Hogan back in the day. I remember very clearly the ball flight was towards a mountain backdrop and you could see the flight forever. Yeah. Do you guys know anything about that one?
I know it was done in Palm Springs. That particular shot. So that was in Palm Springs. And you got those beautiful mountains in the background. And for the people who are a little bit older, if you ever watched MASH, the mountains in the background of MASH are the same mountains where that golf ball was hit because they were filming in Palm Springs. Yeah. So that's where those mountains come from. But yeah, there's nothing better than actually being able to see the ball fly, because when you've got a background, you can see how the dimples make the golf ball aerodynamic, and all of a sudden there's a little bit of rise, and there's it becomes, you can see it flying through the air. It's just not hurtling through the air. There is a trajectory and a beautiful shape because of the dimples on the golf ball to what happens.
Yeah. One of the great shots, I think, in Australian golf, if you remember it, Mark, is the 16th at Coolum when you hit off the tee there and it'd go up against the mountain in the background, Mount Coolum. Yeah. It was one of those, you just see the ball hanging against the mountain and then falling. Oh, you just can't beat that sort of thing.
And the old Coolum, there used to be a par 3. I reckon it was about the 6th or 7th hole.
Yes.
And it would fall. Yeah, and the background was Mount. It was the most gorgeous thing. Yeah. There was a couple at Parapara as well, Paraparan in Wellington. What does it say? There's 9, there's 10's the par 4, 11's the par 5, and then there's a par 3 at the back, and the ball falls in you drive off 12, and it's just the mountains in the background is just stunning.
Maybe that should be a top 5 one day, top 5 with the best background.
Yes, that's a good one. I'll do that next week.
Anyway.
I'll do it next week.
Okay, last bit of feedback here. This is from the unofficial fan page of John Rahm's team. It's a hell of a name for a Twitter account. Yeah. And they've said, this is in reference to the comments last week about architects being morons, which you said, Mark. Golf architects being morons. So be honest. Are you saying that architects like Clayton and Doak are completely wrong, at least in relation to the sandbelt, because they seem to be the guys you are alluding to?
Mike Clayton's definitely in my sides. I know that he thinks tea tree is a weed. So, that's just crazy talk in my book.
But surely that's subjective. Surely you can make an argument both ways.
Not much. No.
Right.
No, you can't. Now, Tom Doak. Now, I think Tom Doak removed an awful lot of trees from Yarra Yarra Golf Club, and there are some that criticise what happened there because of what Tom Doak did. Was it Tom Doak who did Yarra Yarra? I think it was. So maybe that's in the background. Sure. But I love everything that Tom Doak does. Tom Doak is a genius, an absolute genius. And you look at his golf course at Andrews Beach, then tea trees it's a feature there. So I don't think Tom Doak is a big one for taking tea tree away, but certainly Mike Clayton has spoken about tea tree being a weed and cypress trees being bad for the environment, or I don't know what he says. That's probably wrong what I just said, but he wants to get rid of them. He only wants indigenous trees. And as far as I'm concerned, the indigenous trees are the most ordinary looking trees we have at our sandbelt golf courses. Anyway, that's just my opinion.
Well, we'll leave the feedback there. We've got heaps of others that we could run through, but we might come back later in the week. I know you're still going to be in Vietnam, Nick, but we might come back in the week and do another feedback pod whilst you're over there if we can steal you away for a bit of time later on.
Of course. Sounds good.
Now, time for the Ping Global results because Ping will help you play your best even in Vietnam, I imagine, Nick.
All right, this week, the Walker Cup, as you mentioned earlier, Mark, what a win that was for USA, 17-9 over the Great Britain and Ireland. But The real winner was the golf course, as we know. We've sort of covered all that.
Hey, by the way,
look forward to wherever they go next time. I'm not sure where the next one is.
And Nick, it's significant, you know. There are lots of other events, but the one that goes straight to the top this week is the Walker Cup, an amateur event. Absolutely. It wasn't a close finish, but you've put that as number one, like you say, because of the golf course that they showed. So it just goes to show that I reckon so many people would have watched that event. I would love to know the numbers. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll try and get the Foxtel numbers to see what golf event was watched more last weekend. I'll find out. I'll find out for us.
I'm pretty sure I know what it would be.
I know too.
By a long way, I would say. Yeah. On the DP World Tour, as mentioned, they had the Irish Open at the K Club where Rory McIlroy eagled the final hole. And I must admit, it's one of the loudest roars I think I've ever heard on a golf course. The crowds there were just going absolutely insane. And I must admit, I felt for Joachim Lagergren in the playoff when he hit his ball in the water on the third hole. There were cheers, and it was like a Ryder Cup. But hang on, it was like Ireland versus Sweden here. It was kind of strange.
You don't often hear it in golf, too. It's a bit like cheering for someone double faulting in tennis. You don't hear it unless you're
incredible.
at the US Open, and there's an American playing. But I agree. Cheering when someone hits a bad shot, not often heard in the great game of golf.
Not ideal. No, it was very parochial.
But we understand why. Yeah.
Understandable. Of the Australasians, best was Daniel Hillier, tied for 29th, and Elvis Smiley tied for 37th. On the Ladies European Tour, even though it's called the Ladies European Tour, they were in the US, funnily enough, playing the Aramco Houston Open in Texas. It's a standalone event for the LAT in the US. It's a very strange one. But Spaniards, Nuria Iturrioz had a two-shot win over Charlie Hull and Carlota Saganda. That's the fifth win for the Spaniards. She played some really good golf and very strong-looking player. So congratulations to her. Of the Aussies, Kelsey Bennett was best on tied 36 with New Zealander Amelia Garvey there as well at tied 36.
Who was the major sponsor of that European ladies event?
Aramco.
Who's our friend from the Golf Channel? Did he jump up and down about Saudi backing of that tournament? Did he?
Probably not. Who knows?
What's our guy? What's his name again? Brandel Chambly. I haven't heard any kind of words from Brandel this week about that tournament being played in American soil. Interesting.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it is very interesting, isn't it? You might have to get him on one day. You never. No, I doubt if he'll come on. Anyway, Champions Tour, they were in St. Louis, Missouri for the Stifle Charity Classic. We almost had another Aussie winner, unfortunately. Cameron Percy made a good 6-foot putt on the final hole to get into playoff with Thomas Bjorn, who ended up making a 35-foot putt in the playoff for the win. I was talking about Thomas, what was it, last week or the week before? And good to see him playing well. He looks a little different these days to what he was back in his
that's true
in his playing days, but still obviously playing some really good golf.
And great to see Cam Percy doing well as well. I mean, it must have been like our 7th or 8th victory if he won. Would have been incredible to have 8 Aussie wins.
Yeah. He's having a good year. I think he's like top 10 on the Charles Schwab Cup as well.
Oh, wow.
So it's going really well, Cam. But he shot a final around 64 too. It was an impressive round of golf. Of the other Aussies, Mark Hensby was in 10th position and Richard Green tied for 11th. They were the best. Legends Tour. Now, another win here for an Aussie. This time around, it's Scotty Hend, who is leading the order of merit there over on the European Seniors. They were playing in Spain where he shot a second round 63, which really set up the win for him. He fired a 67 in the final round for a 2-shot win over Brazilian Adilson de Silva. And as I said, he's number 1 on the order of merit. Doesn't look anytime soon anyone's going to overtake him over there. So hopefully he can play a bit more in the US.
Before you go to your next event, I've done my masterclass on Scotty Hen this week.
Okay.
So if you are a slicer of the golf ball, you won't want to miss the masterclass this week.
I love it. Yeah, he's a bomber too. He smashes the ball, Scotty. Still incredible. And one last one I want to make a mention here because it's just a great little win for the young man. Austin Batista won on the Sunshine Tour over there in South Africa. And the Sunbet Challenge event, he shot a final round 8 under 62 for a 1-shot win. Now, that moves him up into 2nd spot on the order of merit on the Sunshine Tour.
Wow.
And again, the top 3 get a DP World Tour card, so very similar to here in Australia. So he's been plying his trade over there for the last couple of years. And we've seen him off and on here in Australia, but he's going really well. So congrats to Austin for the win there. And that's this week's ping Leber results.
All right. Masterclass on Hendy, which
Yes.
is going to be a good one. So that'll be interesting to have a look at, I reckon.
Well, stay tuned for that one. I don't hit a golf ball, but look out for the club face angles and how grip affects those.
We'll do that next.
Golf has many ways of measuring ability and performance, but at the end of the day, it's all about the numbers, and that's where Watch My Numbers can really help. Well, Scotty Hend had a fantastic win on the Legends Tour. He did so well, he's killing him over there. He's got one of the strongest left hands in golf and uses it beautifully, absolutely perfectly. Now, if you are a big slicer of the golf ball, it might be time to have a look at Scotty Hend's grip. When I say strong, I don't mean holds it tight. It's over the top like that. The thumb is still on top. Don't let the thumb go underneath. And what that does, it effectively changes the club face. Now on the way down, all slices, generally speaking, the club face is like that. And when you use the Scotty Hend grip, where you can see the FootJoy or the brand of your glove, that effectively changes this. So you won't have to come over the top to try and keep the ball on the golf course. So if you're a big slicer, try the Scotty Hend grip.
I love that, Mark, because so many, well, not so many, but the majority of golfers, they have the left to rights, and a lot of the time it's a big left to right with a slice, and you look at where their grip is, and you know why they're doing it.
Yeah.
So that is perfect. I love how you could see all of the FootJoy there too.
Yeah, it's quite often, if I'm playing with somebody and they're a slicer, I'll sneak behind them and take a video of them. And then I'll show them the video when we're having a drink afterwards. And you can see their club face. It's 45 degrees open. When on the way down, it should be somewhere around straight up and down. That's traditionally where the best players have played from when they're just coming into hitting that ball. And when you see people who slice the ball, the club face is so open on the way down, it's just not funny. And it's so easy just to change the grip because it does correlate your grip. It's a bit like if you're playing tennis. For some people, it's like trying to hit a topspin forehand with a backhand grip. It's impossible to hit the shot that they want to hit, and the grip has it's a big factor.
Yeah, no, but if you look down, and I mean, you're talking about really turning the hand over, putting the thumb still on top there. If you can only see 2 knuckles, that's not a good thing. Make sure you can see at least 3, maybe 4, and maybe Hendy's case, it's 5. Who knows? So, but experiment and play around with it because you might smother hook a few, but it'll actually help that slice.
Now, I have some news. It's just popped up on my phone.
Oh, okay.
All righty. Last week we spoke about Lucas Parsons. And Lucas...
the Greg Norman stuff.
The Greg Norman story.
Yeah.
So Lucas has just got in touch with me. He's going to come on and tell his Greg Norman story. So if you don't know, if you missed last week, he was a young bloke playing with Greg Norman for the very first time. And let's just say there might be a little bit of Colin Montgomery about this story.
Ooh,
okay.
Just the way he was treated playing with the Sharks. So I can't wait to hear the story. Because I've never heard the story. And you said last week you hadn't heard it either.
No, never. Didn't know it. But
well, look out.
Lucas is a great bloke. Can't wait to hear it.
I can't wait to hear it as well.
Can I ask you a question, Mark? I don't know Lucas. You do.
Yeah.
Is Lucas the kind of guy who calls it as it is? Will he lay it all on the line, do you think?
Lucas is a charismatic character, and I'm sure he'll be very happy to leave no detail on the cutting room floor.
Ooh, okay.
It's going to be good. It's going to be great fun.
Hey, before we let you go, Nick, we'll come back for feedback quite later in the week. You are in Vietnam for the week. We know that. Where are you playing this afternoon? What course are you playing this Arvo up there?
I'm at Barnard Hills today, Lang Cove tomorrow. But Barnard Hills, I don't know if you've ever seen any tourism footage of it, but they got this theme park above the golf course. You catch a cable car up there, and they have these hands coming out of the mountain, and it's a bridge. There's a bridge amongst these hands. It's one of the most fascinating things you'll ever see.
Oh, right. Okay.
All right. Well, enjoy Vietnam, Nicholas. I can't wait to get you back in the studio next week, folks. We'll see you next time.
Talk Birdie to Me with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen comes live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. And thanks to our fantastic partners, Titleist is the clear #1 ball in golf. FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Ping, they'll help you play your best. Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. And the Golf Clearance Outlet, who beat everyone's prices. Wherever you listen or watch, we'd love you to subscribe and maybe leave a review. Talk Birdie to Me's executive producer is Dan Bradley at Kaizen Media, with sound design by Daryl Misson at loudzebra.com. And now from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, that's been Talk Birdie to Me.
Looks good, man. Dude. Are we in slow motion too?